This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news of the business of podcasting. Brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. I'm Tom Webster. Here's what you need to know for today, Wednesday, September 27th. First, in Digiday, how attention metrics are turning into audio investments. Attention metrics firm Adelaide has finished a study involving tracking an eBay campaign that ran across multiple publishers, including iHeart, NPR, and Odyssey from Q2 to Q3 of this year. Audio spots that ran on NPR and iHeart outperformed benchmarks by between 11 and 16%. As Odyssey's SVP of Research, Idil Chickham, says, research like Adelaide's further demonstrates that audio impressions are engaged impressions. In an omni-channel environment, audio tends to perform better than video and social media with attention metrics. From TechCrunch, Google Podcasts is shutting down in 2024 with listeners migrated to YouTube Music. According to Google, the Google Podcast app is slated to be shut down permanently in the latter half of next year in a transition to consolidating Google's audio endeavors into the YouTube Music app. YouTube Music is slated to support podcasts globally as well as direct RSS feed ingestion by the end of 2023. If Google Podcast users want to switch to an app besides YouTube, Google will be implementing a subscription export tool that will generate an OPML file that can be imported into apps like Pocket Casts or Podcast Addict. From Signal Hill Insights, helping more podcast listeners get the podcast habit. Founder Jeff Vidler breaks down data from the Signal Hill Insights Sounds Profitable study, The Podcast Landscape, to look at what we know about the habitual podcast listener versus the dabbler. That sounds like a bad Batman villain, the dabbler. A person who has listened to a podcast in the last 30 days, but not in the last week. When considering how to convert dabblers, Vidler points to 1010 Wins, a radio station in New York, which uses the newswheel format to constantly broadcast news content in a loop with the tagline, "You give us 22 minutes, and we'll give you the world," and a call to action that trains listeners to tune in at set points throughout the day to catch the next rotation of the wheel. Unlike subscribe where you find your favorite podcasts, calls to action, like the one from 1010 Wins, gives brand new listeners an explanation of the format without assuming the listener is anything more than a dabbler. Podcasting could do better to embrace that beginner mindset and give the dabblers the tools they need to become habitual listeners. And from The Verge, YouTube is axing its ad-free Premium Lite subscription plan. Premium Lite, a low-cost YouTube Premium subscription available in select countries that allowed for ad-free video viewing and background play while a mobile device is locked, will be discontinued on October 25th. Subscribers will either revert to free YouTube or have to pay an upcharge to get standard YouTube Premium with YouTube Music access bundled in. This follows the trend of streaming services either adding ads to previously ad-free tiers or making ad-free offerings more expensive to encourage subscribers to return to ad-supported viewing. That's something podcasting has future-proofed against by virtue of ad-supported content being the norm rather than the outlier, and that's something that I think needs to be normalized. And for the rest of the news, PodPod offers an extensive look into how the industry can meaningfully support queer podcasting. And new eMarketer data shows that despite cooling growth, connected TV is lifting the programmatic market. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The Download is written and produced by Brian Barletta, Gavin Gaddis, and me. This episode is hosted on Art19. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Tom Webster. Download us again tomorrow.